Okay. All right, this time it's 3:02. I'm going to call to order the February 20th, 2019 Pollyant Trail Management Council meeting, and we will pay our respects to the flag, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'll leave you this now. Please.
Please make us move in the right direction and make decisions for the community. Give each and every individual the strength, the power to make sound decisions. Also, may they be safe on their way home this evening, as it is going to be bad weather. In Jesus' name we ask, amen.
Okay, this time, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Bruce Pearson, absent. Eric Sent. Here. Donnie Steele, absent. Aaron Watley.
Here.
Elgin Nichols, here. Curtis Wright.
Here?
Mike McDonald. Here. Joe Frost, absent. Linda Moran.
Here.
Kevin Green.
Here.
Okay.
Okay, do we have a quorum? So we will move on with the agenda. Is there any amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, a motion is in order to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion by Eric Seth, second by Mike McDonald to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the motion carries. Next up, we have the consent agenda with the approval of the January 16, 2019 meeting minutes, treasurer's report for the bills, financial reports, and an approval for the Orion and Oxford Chamber of Commerce membership renewals. Just some comments here on the consent agenda. Is everybody still wanting the whole detail of the bills in the packet? I mean, is that something you want to continue having in the packet?
I think at one time we had agreed, this was several years ago, to not include, to have them separated out. In other words, what Joe would send us, that packet would be sent out but not included in the meeting packet. That
Okay.
was, I don't think it was ever implemented, but I know it was kind of discussed.
I know, because I had problems last time with the quantity of the packet. I apologize for that. But it was just the idea that, to streamline this packet, what could be done is that I get these to put in the packet. If you want any information, I can bring a copy to the meeting for that, or we can have Donnie as treasurer be responsible for the detail. So, council's pleasure, direction on that.
I don't believe that we need to have it included in the packet. I think it's available, as you pointed out, through our treasurer.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Want to put that,
Is a motion?
put that in form of a motion? I'll make a motion to, regarding the Pollyant Trail packet for the board members, that it include all pertinent information related to the agenda items without the complete billing and receipts information normally sent.
Second.
Okay, motion from Mike McDonald, second from Elgin Nichols to, in summary, omit the detail to the bill summary in future meeting packets. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, that motion will carry. Also, board members, in your board packet, I did include some summary motions. If you want to make those motions on the packet, you're welcome to do that, or if you want to deviate and make your own motion, you're welcome.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda to include the approval of the January 2016-2019 minutes, approval of the bills to be paid for January 2019 in the amount of $2,160.27, to receive and file the financial reports for the January 2019, and authorization to renew membership to the Orion Area Chamber of Commerce and the Oxford Area Chamber of Commerce.
Have a motion on the floor.
Second.
Second from Eric Sunt to approve the consent agenda. Can we get a roll call on this, please?
Bruce Pearson absent, Eric Sint,
Yes.
Donnie Steele absent, Aaron Wadley,
Yes.
Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright,
Yes.
Mike McDonald,
Yes.
Joe Frost absent.
Okay, then motion carries. Okay, moving on down our agenda, public comment. Any public comment anybody like to make? Okay, hearing none, seeing none. Move on to the citizen representative report. Kevin, you're up.
No report today.
No report, okay. File that away. Moving on to new business, Eagle Scout project. This is Ethan Van Amstel wanting to do birdhouses and a bench on the Pollyant Trail. Ethan was here at our meeting last month. Is going to bring back more detail for us.
Yeah.
So Ethan, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I came to you guys last month to get your approval to build 20 bird houses, a bat house, and assemble a bench along the Pollyant Trail. And just to recap of what I said last time, I'm building the bird houses, 10 between Scripps and Clarkston Road, and then the other 10 between Oxford and Bar Road. And then the bat house is going to go behind like the Oxford library, that area, and then the bench is going to go on the by the parking lot on Indian Road. Yeah, Indywood Road. And I'm going to fundraise the money for this project by asking for bottle donations and donations from businesses and friends and family. It's roughly going to cost $1,263 to complete this project. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you.
Okay, any questions from council on the matter? When do you think you'll start? Are you going to raise the money then start, Ethan?
Yeah, I'm going to raise the money then start.
Okay, all right.
I want to finish this by June 15th, 2019.
2019 this year?
Yeah, this year.
Okay, all right. Well, if you need any assistance from the council, just keep us informed on what your progress is and if you need anything from us. Yes?
Do you need a formal approval prior to starting your project for your requirements?
I think no.
Okay.
No, he has Mrs. Moran's
Yeah.
signature already.
Yeah, I signed off on it, so.
Yeah.
And he's got $50.
Yes,
Yes,
$50 to
$50.
start.
Or Ethan, like I say, if there's anything you need from us, just keep us informed what's going on or keep in touch with Linda.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I need to do over, I forgot the trail manager's report. Linda?
Sounds good, we'll do that quick. Do you want to, we can do the president and skip back to the trail managers, because I think you need to get going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
All right, if that's the case, then
Just kind of-
Can I just sit here?
this would be for the ladies' club?
This is for the Oxford
Women's
Ladies
Club.
Women's Club.
Okay.
You
Okay.
guys all right if I sit here?
All right, so we are moving, we're going to amend our agenda and go to item 9C, Oxford Women's Club event requests for June 1st, 2019, and you're Lydia?
Lydia Ronner, she had knee surgery, so if it's okay if she sits.
That's fine.
Okay.
So I'm Lydia, and I am the president of the Oxford Women's Club. What we do primarily is raise money for scholarships for the high school seniors. And I proposed to Linda maybe doing a fundraiser together where we had a walk on the day, what'd you call it?
It's June 1st, it's National Trail Day. We're working on some different events that we can run through the DNR and different things like that that bring a lot of awareness to the trail. So Lydia proposed possibly doing a 5K walk. A lot of the communities do bridge walks. Mackinac Bridge Walk, Paint Creek has a bridge walk on National Trail Day, which is this year's June 1st. So we're thinking of doing the first Larry Obrecht Bridge 5K walk. That we would get some sponsors in, we would do some different things with the ladies club.
Yeah, start at the coffee shop, have maybe baked goods for, that we would provide, and just do a walk. And our first annual walk and raise money. And like, I don't know if you all heard me, but the money goes towards scholarships for the high school, Oxford High School.
So the Pollyant Trail and the Oxford Women's Club will work together, and the fundraising we would do as a joint effort, we would split the revenue. We'd split the cost, we'd split the revenue. Starting it at the bridge site at Evergreens is good. They have bathroom facilities that we're able to use, so we don't have to worry about porta potties and different things like that, which can really add to the cost. The Ladies Club, you have quite a few members that have already volunteered to actually watch the road crossings. Some of the ladies are of advancing age, and they would like to be involved, but with their limited mobility, sitting crossing guards, they're all excited about it. They want to have, like, you know, big hats and flags, and they're all excited. So that's pretty much where we're at, and that would be June 1st.
What's the issue with parking, or how many people do you expect to participate?
That's a great question. I don't know. We're not sure. We'd obviously have to be doing flyers first time, and if it's a beautiful day, all that's going to matter, probably.
We'd also like to do registration online, so we can keep kind of a track of what's going on. You know, with these kind of events, you never make a ton of money on the actual registration fee. You always make it with the sponsorships. So the big goal is to actually have some of our local businesses and residents be our sponsors. And, you know, we can grow on it. I think it's something good. It will be actually our second National Trail Day event at the bridge. Yep, last year was the dedication of the bridge. This will be the first walk. So I think, you know, something like
Any
that.
other questions from council? Aaron?
What type of registration system are you using? I would say that we would be happy to help with registration, but you might want to ask Ron with Oxford Parks and Rec. If he doesn't want to, then we're happy to help out. So.
Yeah, we're just kind of looking at it. We've used a couple of different ones in events we've had before. I was not happy with them. They were difficult to use. They were difficult to get the printout as far as who has paid, who hasn't paid, registration and that sort of thing. So we are looking at some different options. So no decisions have been made, but online registration, June 1st, Oxford Women's Club, get sponsors, that's where we're at. So,
Just keep it in mind.
yeah.
Donnie?
Is this like our event then? As I sort of read something to that.
Yeah, it would be a joint event. It would be under the Pollyant Trail. We would use our insurance, so there would be no additional cost as far as event insurance. We would go under our own insurance. We would do our own waiver forms, that sort of before the walk, and then the ladies would be a co-sponsor, basically.
So I guess I'm just saying, is that going to be like our signature event? Is that the whole idea?
I would like
And then
to.
Instead of doing the zombie run,
Yeah.
we're going to do the walk in the spring or whatever.
I would like to. It helps our community. I mean, the money that we raise from sponsors, we would split with the Ladies Club. And that helps the kids in our community go to college. We'd like to have a few of the kids that have received sponsorship in the past out for the walk. And I think that a walk is good. There's a lot of runs. There's a lot of bicycling events, but not everybody's able to run. Not every, a walk,
Plus, this is strollers, wagons can be
Everything.
included to that.
and it's a slow roll, slow pace over the bridge. And I think it'd be nice. It's a nice little location for that. Hopefully, we can expand on it, maybe make it a run eventually, or maybe make it a 10K. But right now, we'll start small.
As far as the Oxford Women's Club, we typically raise about $12,000, maybe $12,000 to $20,000 a year, and give out as many scholarships as we can. And the way that kids get the scholarship, they have to write a paper, and then we choose. And we try to get everybody who does it, but not always. But we try to get everybody who does it, because it's typically about 10 students that do it.
So where would the route be? Start at Merch Studios, head to the east?
East, yes.
And then probably just back.
And just back. It's an out and back. So we would have people staged at Lux Street, we'd have people staged at Glassby, and then I think the turnaround point is just a little past 8th Street.
And maybe 5K might be even too much, I don't know. We'll
I
have
mean,
to s-
anybody can turn around at any point, but we're going to advertise it as a 5K, and then we can have like 1 mile marks along the trail, and people can turn around and do whatever they like. So just kind of get out there and do some things that are a little different. Typically, having events is hard to find volunteers. So, when the ladies offered it, I thought, that's a great opportunity, and the ladies are all excited about volunteering, so, and we'll have a ladies' baked goods sale.
Make a motion.
Okay.
Donnie? Oh,
I was gonna make a motion, but
Good.
looks like I heard over here.
Go ahead, Donnie.
No, go ahead, you raise your hand first.
Ladies first.
No, no. Only.
Ladies second?
No.
All right.
Here's your motion.
Chairman called you.
I move that the Pollyant Trail Management Council approve the Oxford Ladies Club event request for a 5K walk on National Trail Day, June 1st, 2019, and to provide $300 for the event. The $300 amount is to be expended to account 298-853-962.014. Pollyant Trail Management Council sponsored events. Trail Manager Linda Moran is to coordinate the event with the Oxford Ladies Club and confirm receipt of all required documentations for the event.
thank you.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, a motion by Councilor Nichols, second by Councilor McDonald, to approve the Oxford Women's Club event scheduled for June 1st, 2019. Can we get a roll call for expenditure of funds, please?
Bruce Pearson absent, Eric Sent,
Yes.
Donnie Steele,
Yes.
Aaron Watley.
Yes.
Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright,
Yes.
Mike McDonald,
Yes.
Joe Frost absent. Carries.
Okay, motion does carry on that. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, it'll be fine. I can rein in Lydia. She,
I always answered to Linda because my whole life Lydia was called Linda.
Yeah.
People always make that mistake.
yeah,
So it's
nah, it'll be good, it'll be good.
Thank you. Thanks. Sorry I have to leave.
She's got business elsewhere. Thanks, Lydia, be careful.
All right, we'll back up now to the Trail Manager report. Linda, you're up.
All right, well, the website, we've been having a problem, we were hacked. Lois Golden is here, she'll be talking on it a little further on today. We're working on getting it up and running. The DTE, Michigan Department of Natural Resource Tree Grant, was submitted, we got confirmation, check's in the mail, yay! So we should be getting that check probably in the mailbox in Leonard, which I'll be getting it on my way home tonight. Curtis and I have been working on the inter-community agreement. We've made some addendums and some changes on the one that we were given by Paint Creek Trail. So more on that later. We're going to be working on getting some updates. I highly recommend that we submit it to Mary Carlock and Kristen Wolfang to get their approval before we actually submit it to the DNR. See if we can't get things rolling without involving the attorneys. I mean, if it meets the trust fund grant coordinators' requirements, I say we're good. Then once that's approved, then we send it to the communities for individual agreements to be signed. The new bench, the birthday bench, is here. It's up in the Pollyant Trail shed area. We're just waiting for spring to get it installed. So that's nice to have it here and not have to worry too much about it. It's been kind of a quiet month. We have, except for a couple of the events that are going to be my events, we really haven't had any other events requested. I have requested some new equipment, which I do believe Curtis attached to the packet, in the total of, okay, where is it? I do believe, what happened to it? It was like $1,329. It was for one new cab cadet push mower, 4 loppers, and some new weed whip heads. and also a skill saw battery-operated saw for the trail. Right now, Home Depot has a kit promotion going. If you buy battery-powered impact drivers and different things, you can package it up for like $379. We can get battery-operated Sawzall and a circular saw. I did buy one of those packages earlier because I was desperate for some impact drivers and battery-operated drills. They worked great. If we got another combo pack like that for $379, you can't believe how wonderful it'll be. I'm out in the field a lot, and I need a ability to cut lumber to size. I've been using Sawzall and a skill saw that I have, but I have to haul the generators out there and stuff, and that becomes a problem, hauling the generators out there. So with that, we would have enough batteries to go all day. We would have a couple of battery-operated Sawzall, which Wham can use. They can't use the chainsaws, but they can use those, and it cuts brush and trees like you can't believe. So I am requesting just at $1,300, and I think it's $29.79 for this season's equipment purchase. Other than that, that's all the purchasing I need. Let's see, $13.79. The Gator has been picked up from Orion, and the check should have been received. Yes? Check's been received, yay! So I have the Gator under lock and key. Nobody knows where it is but me. Maybe Aaron, he's got LoJack on it. I've got the Wham season scheduled for this year. We have our Schneider Dollar for Doers and our General Motor Dollars for Doers. Mike McDonald requested that his Dollar for Doers be sent to us this year. That's in the process. Schneider Electric employees have also requested that their Dollar for Doers be sent to us. So it'll be between $8,000 and $10,000 that we'll be getting from Schneider Electric here shortly. So thank you, Mike, and thank you, Schneider employees. So.
And who would those employees be?
That is Mr. Mark Moran, Mr. Craig Junkin, and Dave German. So they came out and helped quite a bit on the trail, removed some trees and stuff this year. Craig is an avid cyclist, lives in Lake Orion. He lives very close to the trail, and he does a lot of checking on the trail for me, letting me know if there's trees down, if the grass is getting too long. He loves to let me know. So, but those three did a lot of work out there this year, and Mr. McDonald did more work than any of us probably combined. So, and that is for anything that has no stipulations on how it's to be used. That's money that we can earmark for any of our activities. So we're good to go there. So, and I would kind of like to request that once we get the money from Schneider, that possibly we do a picnic table or a bench with their name on it. This is second year in a row they have given us quite a large donation, and I think that they would greatly appreciate that. We could do a little photo op with one of their employees or their employees out there, and I think it would be a nice gesture on our part. So, we can, once we get the money, we'll talk about that later. No money, no talk. Let's see, we also have the new Gator, the mile markers. We have been working on these mile markers. I physically have the mile markers. I had the mile marker signs designed. I ordered them before Thanksgiving. I was told in the last 10 days or so that the company that we contracted to make our mile markers, who did the design, are no longer able to make the size we need. They can't do it. I think it's more of a cost issue. I think they kind of lowballed it, but I don't know that for sure. They said they can't make it. I have found another company that we have used in the past who is able to make the signs to the size we need with the same exact everything. Double the money. It's $909 to have those signs made rather than $450. Back, I believe it was in the September meeting, I was approved monies to get those signs made. I did not spend that money. I haven't spent a dime. It's still, even at $909, with the money that Max has raised, the money the Morans contributed, and the money that the Trailway approved, I still will come in under budget. But I'm just letting you know that I didn't think I was going to have to spend it, and I'm going to have to spend it to get these signs done. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that one. So I'm kind of asking to use the money that was already pre-approved. I'm just kind of letting you know that I'll try to keep it under budget, and if I have to go over a budget, I will come back.
This Mike,
What was the total
909.
of the new amount?
909, right?
909 for the new signs. The previous company that we had contracted with quoted us 450. So, and then back in September, I do believe it was, that the council did approve monies to get it done, because we thought we were going to be short. Turned out we weren't short. We actually had more money than we needed. So we weren't going to spend that money, but I may have to spend that money.
All right, let's do this, Don, or,
Yeah.
Linda. Let's put a packet together for next month's meeting
Okay.
on this. We'll
Okay.
have all the details.
Yep.
You'll need an additional $459 to complete whatever you'd like to accomplish.
Okay. Absolutely.
Anything more on your report, Linda?
Mile markers, the credit card, but we have that listed
Right.
on the agenda. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, anything for Linda that's not on the agenda already?
Did you give your WAM report?
I've got my WAM scheduled, so we've got them all scheduled for next year. They start April 7th. So
How many times do you have them?
I do believe I have them 18 times this year. I have a lot of double weekends because early in the season, they don't have a lot of sites opened. So basically, I took everything they had. She offered me, what they had, and I said, I'll take whatever. And if we get a couple of good Sundays out here or Saturdays, I will take them. So they'll probably be out here before April 7th, because she's called me a couple times during the Snowmageddon, the polar vortex or whatever. She said, hey, you want to crew? And I'm like, no. I'm freezing. I don't want, no. That's cruel and unusual, so, for me. But yeah, so we've got them scheduled. I think we're going to I'm going to get the schedule together as far as where I'm going to start rotating them through. I believe we're going to start in Orion this year. We started in Orion last year. It seemed to work quite well. And then I rotate them on sites based on need. So we clear the bridges first. We make sure our bridges are clear and are in good order, and then we move them around. So we'll start in Orion on the bridges. So
You have to notify them where you want them to work.
no. What we do is they go to a central location, which is 22 Burdick, where we have our storage equipment in the village of Oxford. They meet me there, and I tell them where they go. And then we go out to the site, I set them up, and we start working. So, and they have a PO officer that travels with them that basically gives direction. And we clear it out.
So do you have the option to cancel, I would imagine, if because of weather or other events happening?
Yes. If it's lightning, we cancel. Pretty much rain, they're told to bring rain gear. So I've never canceled a WAM weekend. So we've worked, what?
You don't want to cancel.
You don't want to cancel.
Too many times.
Yeah.
Too many times and it'll be...
Because then you
Lose your,
You lose your spot.
got them, take them. Figure out something to do.
I can always find something, and we were out at Lake George at one time, and it was a monsoon, and we were still mowing. But, I will take whatever they have, if they call me up and say, on Wednesday, I got a group, I'll take them, and, I tried to steal Aaron's one Thursday afternoon, I was out there, and Angel was working with
It's
them.
okay, as long as they have a job to
Yeah.
do. The person doesn't say no.
Yeah, no, I'm like, whatever you got, just send them to call me, and they know it. So, and oftentimes I'll go out there, I'll expect, 12 people, and I've ended up with 3 crews. That's stressful. You get 3 crews, and you've got 36 people, and 3 PO officers, and it's just
Is the crew typically 12 people then?
12, yeah, pretty much 12. I've requested mostly men, only because the work we do is heavy, and bathroom facilities are difficult. So the ladies do require different accommodations. So if we're in Leonard, or if we're in Orion by the library or by the community center or whatever, we can have mixed crews. But pretty much when I'm looking for somebody to run a post hole digger or to move, 3 ton of rock, it's hard for the girls, so,
Do they provide a schedule, or could you get a schedule for council to show
absolutely.
the WAM weekends that they're scheduled?
Absolutely, yep, I'll send it to you.
And does council want something like that for a file?
I think it'd be a good idea.
And anytime anybody wants to come out and help, it's a fun day. I bring cookies. It's awesome. Mike's been out there. I've worked Mike a few times pretty hard, so,
That's how we keep them coming back.
oh, yeah. I make, the last wham of every season, we have, it's pretty funny. We'll do a hot dog, we do hot dogs and chips and all kinds of stuff. So everybody's all excited at the last wham because it's like, are we having hot dogs next week? Are we doing it? And I'm like, yep, we're having our big weenie roast on the last wham Sunday. Yeah, the whammy roast. But, yeah, so I will send you the schedule.
Okay.
And then, anybody who wants to help, Aaron knows it's a blast out there. So, pretty much that's it. That's
Okay.
what we've got
All
going.
right, very good. All right, so we will move on our agenda now. The next item up is our website and Facebook status update. Rose Golden's here.
Yes.
Website administrator, she'll give us an update on where we're at and where we need to go and how we're going to get there.
Yeah, and let me give you a brief history. It might answer some of your questions, because I know most of you don't know me. I'm Lois Golden. I was trail manager from 2004 to 2006, served as interim in 2011 and 2013, so I have a lot of the history, a lot of the documents and whatever. And I established the website in 2004 basically as an aid for myself, because I was part-time, I needed an aid, I needed a place to post policies and documents and things, because, it's difficult to juggle all these duties being the trail manager. So it was established in my name initially with my email address, but used solely for the Pollyant Trail. So the last update was 2013. And then I got the introductory rate of, the $1.99 a month price back in 2004. That only lasts for 5 years, long gone. But if I establish a new server presence in the Pollyan's name, we'll get for $120 for 5 years of hosting. It's the best deal out there. And no matter what you do, whether you have a Wix site or this or that, you need a hosting place. So that's the best deal out there, and I did submit an invoice for that. But in 2013, the website was 6 years old. It was done in please forgive me for using technical terms, Joomla Contact Management System. There's all kinds of scripts and plugins and components and whatever. That got a little outdated, vulnerable to hackers. I was just about to propose an update to the council. In fact, former president or council chair Mike McDonald and I talked about archiving things on CD. Because I was getting a little nervous about it, but I thought, no, we're not doing cash handling other than, a donation through PayPal or something, and I wasn't too concerned about it. I was wrong. I mean, I discovered after doing research that hackers are targeting small, they don't want the money, they just want the web presence and using your server space. So that's how the hack happened. It was probably, I spent from Christmas for 6 weeks trying to figure out what was wrong, trying to fix it. There are services that say, oh, we can fix it for you, but that doesn't help when you're blocked from these international security agencies who are monitoring these IP addresses that, hey, this IP address is phishing and scamming people. And that's what Linda's dealing with right now. Even though the websites and the emails, well, not the website, the email's functioning fine, but can't send out her email because we're listed as blocked. Now, I did, in some of my restoration work, I signed up for free tools. For example, mxtoolbox.com will give me alerts. And, please delist us. We're not spammers. Please do this. I took off everything that I could find that was, but basically, that server's toast. It's useless. I could have rebuilt a website 3 times over for the time I spent trying to fix it. But I didn't know what, I was desperately trying to restore because right before the hack, Linda and I had, everything was like perfect, just absolutely perfect. But I still have the data safe on my computer that can be re-uploaded and we can work on that. So right now, the really critical thing is, and I can get this up fast, we need a new server, and that would be, I think, $120, I think it was $119 or something, $120. I've already submitted the invoice to Joe Ferrari, and I believe the chairman got a copy too. So I need payment for that. That's out of pocket. That's not to me. That's strictly for the new server space. That's for 5 years in your name. I will provide access information to the chair, the trail manager, and probably the treasurer, which has been kind of the smart thing to do because the treasurer's more consistent, or the accountant rather, Joe Ferrari, he's probably going to be around. And then two, I think it's smart because if something were to happen to me, there's no, how do we access the website? How do we, update it and all that? It really needs to be a shared circumstance, but still protected where somebody can't mess it up. But just so you would have the account information and authorization to make changes and whatnot. And then for my time for now, I just charged the Friends of the Pollyann $500 for a really, really basic website. So I'm going to invoice $300 towards this effort. But as I talked to Linda, I'd like to just get the basics up there because spring's coming. She's going to get busy. People are going to start bugging her for forms. It takes a lot of time to email and attach forms to things. So let's get it up on the website. Meeting schedule, policies, your master plan. People are going to be looking for that. Your master plan updates, your public hearings and all that. We don't have to have it perfect. It's going to look decent. I can get a lot done. I charge the council my reduced rate of volunteer time, $20 an hour, and that's the best you're going to get. Because I really care about this. I have a lot of personal time invested in this trail. I care about it. And I'd like to see this get up and running. And I know it's a source of distress for your trail manager as well. And I think we can get something done very quickly. And then also, on my billings, a lot of times, I don't have much to bill the council for. There might be, like February, we don't have any events. I'm just posting, minutes or a packet, So I'm only spending a few minutes of time doing a little cleaning and it might be $20. Well, even if I bill quarterly, that's $60. And I invoice, you and you've got to review it and there's paper and then somebody's got to pay it and whatever. I'd rather have a bigger bulk of billing than do this little minuscule amount of billing. It's administrative time and it takes up everyone's time. So, not that you're going to get a monster bill from me. And then certainly, the time that I spent on restoration, I can't charge the council. I'm chalking it up. I might charge $100 or something later on down the road. But it's kind of the cost of my doing business. But then again, I'm kind of doing this on a semi-volunteer kind of basis. So I got to think about, oh my gosh, I just spent all these weeks on something that I love, but I can't, I couldn't in good conscience charge the council. It would be an astronomical amount of money. So, do you have any Does the council have any questions for me, anything that I haven't covered?
Well, I know I have someone I'm going to defer to the rest of the council first. Elgin?
I guess I have a couple of questions. One is, what kind of server is it? What is it?
It is webhostingpad.com, and they have the most services available. I've used them for multiple different websites, and they've been very, very quick. And even during this hacking incident, they were back with me within 15 minutes, because I was doing battle with a hacker. I would get access, the server would allow me access, and then the hacker would come in and it would be down, and I was constantly in contact with tech support. They're a good value, and it's a good service.
I am familiar with that firm, but another question I would have is, what are you going to use in terms of security in the future? Keep this from happening.
Just the fact that I plan on a WordPress site, and then also with the newer sites that I've created for others, I do an automatic upgrade to plugins, components, whatever, and then also I do a manual as well. Just the fact that it's newer will be better. And then there's some additional things that I could introduce to council. There, for an extra $20 a month, you can get this or that or the other thing, but a lot of times it's just fluff. You're really, because if you read the fine print, they basically say, we'll cover this, that, and the other thing, but we're not gonna cover, so there really are no complete guarantees for hacking out there. But I might suggest something in the future.
I would suggest that you look into that part of it.
Yes.
Because I'm with a TV station, and we're concerned with all those items.
Right.
And we have top security as well.
I have already, I've got a few that I'm ready to, but I didn't want to bombard the council with a bunch of extra information today.
I just don't want to see you go through this process, because I understand the detail that's required to do it, only to have it hacked again.
Right. But the biggest problem was the design was old. It needed updating. But I was also wary about that, because I know from being a legislative member that the council's concerned about price and, the website's functioning. Why do we need to upgrade? You got to balance those things out. And I was mistaken. I should have suggested strongly an upgrade prior to that. But I really didn't see this coming at all.
Actually, I look over value over cost in every situation. I'm real familiar with internet systems, so I do see that you're in a major dilemma right now, or we are, that we don't have anything out there.
Right.
On the webpage.
Right.
So,
since Christmas, yes. Since the very end of December.
And looking at the price, I don't see anything extravagant here, and I believe that you're telling us, straight scoop on it.
Right.
That would be my opinion.
And what I'd appreciate, I don't normally, I only communicate through the council, through the chair, or through the trail manager. But if you want to contact me directly with a concern, that's fine. But I just feel that it's appropriate for me to communicate through the appropriate parties.
Well, my one concern I had was having backup for this, and you've indicated that you do.
Yes. Well, the problem was, if you're familiar with it was Joomla 1.5, and at some point in time they stopped supporting backups.
Right.
So all I was doing was downloading FTP downloads, and it wasn't really a full backup. And that's what I need. And now with the new server and the new website, boom, it's all automatic.
Yeah, I agree. You have to watch that real close, because they will change on you when you're not looking.
Oh, I look. But the thing is, I'm also my mother's daughter, and I watch pennies. And sometimes penny wise and pound foolish,
Donnie?
Okay, just 3 quick questions. It's $120 for 5 years, and it's $500 to get us running.
Oh, no, that's just the max. That's the maximum for now.
So is it?
I'm going to just send a separate invoice for $300. I haven't prepared that today.
Okay, is it $120 for 5 years? Is there $120 per year for?
Oh, no, $120 for the 5 years.
Okay, and then when do you think that when we'll be back in action?
If the chairman authorizes payment to Joe Ferrari, he can PayPal me tomorrow, and then maybe I'll get funds by Friday, but next week for sure, that we'll get something up. And I will have to coordinate with Linda because she's going to have to change her email settings, which we've already had an issue with, a separate issue with her computer. But
That'll get me off the blacklist with the DNR?
right, absolutely.
Okay, that's
what we,
that's all I care
that's the
about.
aim. Yeah,
Okay.
we want to be off all blacklists.
Okay, a quick rundown then is we're looking at $420
Yeah, but
right now.
right now, and then, we can, like, monthly, there's a resolution out there, I think it's October 2013, that council authorizes me to spend up to $100 per month for the website for special projects. So if we need to I can get a lot done in 5 hours, a lot. So let's make it pretty and functional, and then Linda and I can work out and tweak it as we go along, instead of like naming a big price.
The special projects, though, would be at the direction of the council. Correct.
Well, this was like an authorization, just go ahead and bill, if working with the trail manager. However, this situation's a little different. I would feel more comfortable working with the council and just, let's not spend a whole lot of money. I don't think you need to. I think we can, unless the council wants a lot of bells and whistles and slideshows and all that, I don't think we need to do that. Right now, you need your policies, your documents, your minutes, your meeting times, because people really, maps. Right now, she's gonna get calls. Where's the map? They want it on their phones.
We've already authorized $300,
Yeah.
correct, Chair?
But that was,
We authorized this last month for this website to get up and running. Now,
Okay.
this is on my part, this council authorized you to get started to do this.
okay, but,
The day after our meeting, you were authorized to do that. Manager Moran said for you to go ahead and do it. You said it costs $119 plus $100. And I don't know about the rest of the council, but I thought things would be up, maybe running by this meeting.
but I wasn't
So maybe
paid.
I'm misunderstanding. that.
I
You need to be
invoiced-
paid- You need to
but-
be paid before you start, correct?
Correct,
Okay.
because
Yeah, we didn't
I'm a
know that.
senior on a fixed income, and I'm on one of those 5-week schedules, so, yeah. I just need the 120, and then let's say 300 because that's my time, because I've already put time in to restoration. I need something, I need some assurance that the council wants to work with me on this. So.
Well, we did that last month.
But I didn't get paid, so
I know that.
Well, I would have expected an invoice.
I did submit an invoice,
Okay.
but I didn't get paid.
Okay.
So there's a
I talked to Mr.
misunderstanding.
Ferrari today. He said he did not receive any invoice, other than the 2 invoices for the website renewal and the website from
Right, but-
July through December, which I authorized payment on that because it already happened. But as far as the website renewal, that's not my call because it's a 5-year agreement that council will have to approve. Now, as far as your other bills coming forward for us to proceed, for you to proceed, for us to pay you, we don't have any record of what.
Okay,
how much you
well,
want.
I did submit an invoice. I got $40 for the old server space. I got paid for that.
You got that.
And then I didn't get paid the $120 to get the website, the new server established. I didn't get, I did invoice for that, and I did not get that.
That's why it's in this packet, if council wants to move forward with that.
And then, but I need some, that's just my out-of-pocket, just so you understand.
I understand better now.
Who she submitted to?
I don't know. But anyway, how much money are you looking for us to write you a check to get started?
I can invoice Joe Ferrari $300 for my time.
Okay.
Whatever that, and details to follow.
Okay, so that's your time to get the website back.
Right, but the other items are out of
Blacklist.
this week, because we're gonna all get really busy, season starting, so now's the
Already
time.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion then to authorize the web hosting agreement through Images by Golden in the amount of $120
That would be for the 5-year renewal?
for the 5-year duration for the upcoming renewed, or
Chairman, and Mike, could I make one suggestion? That this will be in the Pollyant Trail name. I will administer it, but it will be in the Pollyant Trail name.
but we're going to pay you directly to...
Right. Well, you know what, I'll work that out with Joe.
Okay.
I'll set it up where he already has like the domain renewal on the credit card that's associated with the Oxford account.
Is this a refundable amount if we don't follow through in the 5 years?
No, I don't believe
Locked in,
so.
we pay 120 and it's not refundable.
I don't believe so. But you can use it, you could
I know
use it for all kinds of things. It's unlimited websites
It's
and,
not a big deal money-wise, it's the key of getting the website back up and running.
Right, and if I could, the village has 2 websites and they're over 100 each, actually 200 each between the fees to the company and the web hosting, so.
We got a motion on the floor, second from you, Aaron? Okay, Donnie, go ahead.
Do we need to have the $300 in there? I misunderstood her. I thought she needed the 300 plus the 120.
He just made that motion for that.
Oh, I think you
Then we'll
said-
move on to get the next amount.
Okay.
Linda, you wanted to speak?
Nope, I just wanted to make sure it was in the Pollyant Trail name.
right,
And we get the passwords too?
yes. But safely delivered, I usually do email, but then passwords in text or in printed, mailed, snail mail.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Councilor McDonald, second by Councilor Watley, to authorize the amount of $120 for a 5-year web hosting agreement by Images by Golden. We need a roll call on that, please.
Bruce Pearson, absent. Eric Sent.
Yes.
Donnie Steele.
Yes.
Aaron Wadley.
Yes.
Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Joe Frost, absent.
Okay, that motion carries. We're now going to get a 5-year web hosting agreement by Images by Golden. Okay, Lois, the next item that you need money for.
Okay, just $300 to cover my past time and to work on this.
Okay. Is that the time that you spent, or is there?
Well, I would say,
If we owe you money, we need to pay you.
right, I've got to look at it, you know, it's been so just disruptive trying to deal with all this hacking. I think that we can manage this within the $300, get the site up very basic but very attractive, and let's move on from there.
Okay, so within your invoice, make sure you detail it very well.
Right,
so
I will,
that we're covered and you're covered.
right, let me go back to my desk and look at some things.
Okay, so we'll need a motion to authorize payment of $300 to Images by Golden to cover the prior...
The restoration,
Restoration, and that's
Of the
going to get us
website.
back up and running?
back up and running,
Up and running, so there'll be no more fees to have the website back online.
correct.
All right.
I'll make that motion. I authorize that we pay Image by Golden $300 for the restoration of the website.
Support.
Okay. Okay, motion on the floor by Councilor Soft, second by Councilor Nichols, to approve Images by Golden for the amount of $300 to get the website back up and running by
Next week.
next week. Okay. I won't hold you to it, but...
Oh, yeah, no, you can hold me to it.
That's all right. as long as we get it back, because we've been out without.
No, I want to get it, no, this is of great concern to me.
As it is with us. Okay, roll call, please.
Bruce Pearson, absent. Eric Sent.
Yes.
Donnie Steele.
Yes.
Aaron Wadley.
Yes.
Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Joe Frost, absent. Carried.
Okay, motion carries. Okay, Lois, thank you for coming in, giving us an update, what's going on with it, so
Yeah.
we'll move on and go from there. Donnie?
Kirsten, will her email be up and running within a week, 2 weeks?
Her email is functioning. You can email her, but when the manager at Pollyantrailway.org goes out, some agencies are blocking that because it's blacklisted mail. So you can still contact her, and she can still send email. It's, you know, it's...
Just not certain agencies, like
Well,
DNR.
it's...
DNR.
Right, and it depends on, you know, this is like...
They blocked you, and there's nothing that she can do to be able to
And
unblock
it's
you.
beyond my control because this is security that
I get it.
everybody uses, and I wouldn't know who to call. So,
Domain.
any more questions?
No, I think everybody's satisfied, Lois. We'll
Yeah,
just wait for
and
the
everybody
results
have a
and-
safe drive. I hope I made a smart choice. I didn't think I was gonna make it here today. I
We're glad
was
you did.
watching the weather.
Give us some insight there. Okay, we're going to move on our agenda. We have a National Open the Trail Day on April 13th, 2019 request from the Girl Scouts. Linda, I'm going to let you expand on what they want.
Well, this is actually my request. One of the Girl Scout moms in Orion had done some work for us with the girls last year, and we had been talking about doing some badge work again this year. She suggested that we do an event. You know, what did I think? I thought National Open the Trail Day, not to be confused with National Trail Day, is April 13th. I was thinking we'd run an event from 9 to 12. It's basically a clean up the trail day. I've invited the Girl Scouts from Oxford. I've invited some of the Boy Scouts from Oxford and Lake Orion. It looks like we're going to have a pretty good group. We're going to list it on the countywide Girl Scout website, so we can, everybody come. Again, we're going to start at Evergreen's Coffee Shop because of the bathroom situation. Last year, we had the Boy Scouts in Orion on National Open the Trail Day, which was April 13th. We started at Clarkston Road. This year, we're going to do that primarily because Lakeville Road in the springtime, because the road is so close to the trail, the amount of garbage that's over there is unbelievable. And it's every springtime. First, you know, I'll have Wham go out there and we'll bring out tons of garbage. It's from litter from cars, it's from litter from recycling that blows away from the subdivisions and the trailer park. It's just, so I would like to request a couple $100 for garbage bags and waters and snacks for the girls and the Boy Scouts to run the event April 13th from 9 to 12, starting at Evergreen Coffee Shop and going as far east and west as we possibly can, picking up trash. And it's going to be a huge community effort, Orion and Oxford. So that's what we've got for the event.
Council's pleasure.
So you're looking for a motion to appropriate $200 for garbage bags
And snacks.
and snacks?
Yeah, waters.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we authorize payment for $200 for garbage bags and snacks.
We'd also like to get some sponsors going out there too, of course, you know. So,
But this will be a Pollyant Trail
This is
sponsored
a
event,
strict-
and our insurance will cover it?
correct. This is going to be one of our events.
Okay, motion on the floor, any second to the motion? Support. A second by Councilor Nichols. So that motion is to approve the National Open the Trails Day event, and with the authorization of $200 from the Pollyant Trail Management Council. Roll call, please.
Bruce Pearson, absent. Eric Sent.
Yes.
Donnie Steele.
Yes.
Aaron Wadley.
Yes.
Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Joe Frost, absent.
Okay, that motion carries. Next one was mentioned in Linda's report for the equipment purchase. In your packet, you'll see the breakdown of what Linda is requesting, along with some estimates that she provided showing the cost of some of the equipment. She's looking for 2 new heads for weed whips, 4 new steel hand clippers, 1 cordless DeWalt circular saw, 1 wrench set, and 1 Cub Cadet lawnmower model SC500, total amount being $1,379. Council's pleasure.
And I did bring, so you can take a look at these. These are ones that I actually ran over with the truck, and it still is fabulous. Stuff happens sometimes.
I'll make a motion to approve an amount of $1,379 for the purchase of equipment to be expensed from account 298-853-927.001, or 001, I should say, equipment and hardware, and to attach the equipment list to the minutes.
Okay, motion?
Second.
Second. Okay, motion from Councilor McDonald, second from Councilor Watley to approve $1,379 for purchase of equipment, and we'll need a roll call for expenditure of funds.
Bruce Pearson, absent. Eric Sent.
Yes.
Donnie Steele.
Yes.
Aaron Watley.
Yes.
Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Joe Frost, absent.
Okay, the motion carries. Moving on, Pollyant Trail credit card application. Linda and I were talking about the monies we're receiving on our monies in the bank, and we put our heads together and come up with some ways of potentially getting more money into our Pollyant Trail account. So what Linda's done is give you some options to apply for a credit card. She applied for 3 different ones. The one that she's recommending is a Chase Inc. Business Cash Credit Card. If you spend $3,000 in the first 90 days, they'll give you a $500 credit back to your account. So I put it on the agenda to see if council likes the idea, doesn't like the idea. You already have a credit card in the name. Is it in Pollyant Trail's name?
No, it's actually in the Oxford Township. I use the Oxford Township credit card, and it goes to the master bill that Joe Ferrari has to sort through every month and pick out what are the Pollyant charges. I did talk to Joe, Curtis and I did talk to Joe about it. He doesn't see any problem as long as he's listed on the credit card as an administrator, so he can have access to it. He would get a credit card much like the cable company, or the cable, I guess, gets. Then he would have access to it. He wanted a due date after the 22nd of the month because of the pay system at the township. And he also wanted a credit limit, or he suggested a credit limit of $10,000 because sometimes I get crazy. And so those were the only stipulations he had, but actually I think would probably be very advantageous for him, because then he wouldn't have to take our receipts and the master bill and filter through and find out what is ours. It would be independent. Along with the Chase account, we do get 1.5% cash back on all of our purchases, and that's money that we can just have accredited right to our account. So that's a huge amount of money. I mean, not huge, but it's better than zero.
What our budget is.
Yeah, it's better than zero, which is what we're getting now.
Any other question?
Do you still qualify for a tax exempt?
Yes.
status when you use a credit card?
Yes, yep.
Difficult to do.
No.
Eric?
Yeah, so if I understand it right, you're going to keep using the Oxford and this new one? We're going to have both?
No, just this one.
The Oxford.
Yeah, we're just going to, our thought was if we get just the Pollyant Trail
Right.
credit card, Pollyant Trail will go to 300 Dunlap, and Joe will get that bill every month, and he'll attach our receipts. Then that 1.5% cash back goes right to the Pollyant Trail account.
Right.
It only makes us money, and it will save Joe, I think, some time. I think he'll really appreciate
I think
that.
that's the right thing to do.
If you look at what our interest earnings are on our existing account of $70,000 plus, I mean, to me, it's, as they say, no-brainer.
Yeah.
Donnie, as treasurer, what do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Mr. McDonald?
I was curious about the interest rate comparable to the township versus if there was a balance. I assume that it's forgiven the first month if you pay it off?
Yes, you have 30 days, in which to pay the credit card off. That's why Joe did request a due date after the 22nd, because the bill runs are on the 15th and
End of the month.
at the end of the month. So that way, he can write the check on the 15th, get it to the credit card company before the due date, so we would have no interest whatsoever. If you don't pay it off, the interest is almost predatory. I think it's 27%. So we got to stay on it. But with this being solely the Pollyant Trail, the chairperson, myself, we can pull that up and find out exactly what's going on with it. We can actually view it, see how much cash back we're getting. I think it'll be a much more user-friendly. We can track our expenditures when it comes budget time a little easier. What are we actually spending our money on, and where is it going? So, yes.
Is there any maintenance fees?
No. There's no annual fees, and as as long as you just keep it in good standing, there's no penalties or
Sounds like an
anything.
no-brainer.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to authorize Pollyant Trail Management Council, Trail Manager Linda Moran, I'm reading the script here, so
Good. Hopefully it helps
very
you.
well done, David. To apply for the Chase Inc. business card, cash credit card.
Okay, motion on the floor, I'll second the motion. Okay, motion by Councilor Son, second by Chairman Wright, to approve the Trail Manager Linda Moran to apply for the Chasing Business Cash Credit Card. Councilman Brown.
Question on the motion, the language, is it INK?
It's ink, yeah, like pen ink, INK.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it said.
I've never seen it.
Like incorporated, you're thinking?
Yeah, I was thinking incorporated.
Also, I don't know, next month, I also have a savings account with 2.36 interest that we could look at next month. One thing at a time, though.
Yeah, one saving
So,
at a time.
yeah, I'm going to make you only so much money every month, so you keep me coming back.
Don't overdo it, huh?
Okay, motion is second on the floor. Any further issue or questions on this one? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, that motion does carry. Last item of new business, electric propelled bicycles on the Pollyant Trail. The 1-year anniversary is coming up for the renewal on the electric bicycles on the trail. Linda, I don't think we've had any issues with them
No,
today?
I've seen several. There's a couple of gentlemen that use them in Leonard pretty exclusively. I have had no issues. I think it's working out great for me. I have no problem.
So if there's no other further amendments to the, what do we got here?
Policy.
The policy. If there's no amendments to the policy, a motion would be in order to approve the policy or renew the policy from effective date of March 21st of 19 through whatever you'd like.
Through March 21st of 2020? Or is it two, should we do it more longer?
Talking with Linda, she would like to leave it open-ended. That was my,
Let's
That's
go
right.
through it 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, if any laws change or anything like that, then we can always revisit it, right?
Right.
good. So what would you like?
Yeah, open-ended, right?
Yeah, because why keep coming back every year if we don't have a problem? We can come back anytime if we've got a problem.
Okay, so why don't we just say then, effective from March 21st, 2019, until such time as the council sees fit to take it up again, something like that.
Okay.
I'll make that motion, or who did somebody make it?
No,
You're
you're the motion maker.
All right.
So a motion on the floor, second by Councilor Watley, to approve or renew or extend the Pollyant Trail electric propelled bicycles policy from March 21st, 2019 until further notice of need of review by the Pollyant Trail Management Council. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Moving on to unfinished business, Cooper Standard Foundation Leonard Mill Grant update. In your packet, councilors, is the request from the Village of Leonard, a letter from President McDonald indicating they would like to have the funds released from the Pollyant Trail into their funds so they can get started to do their repairs on the Leonard Foundation, the Leonard Mill Grant. So I guess I'll turn it over to you, Councilor McDonald, for what you'd like to see happen.
Thank you. Some members of the council will recall that we signed an agreement between the Pollyant Trail and the Village of Leonard authorizing the Pollyant Trail to receive funds for the village through their 501c3 status. And Cooper Standard thus far has been the only contributor using that mechanism. So our plan is this spring to perform the repairs on the mill, and we need the money in order to do it. So that's the basis of the request. Are there any questions?
I have a couple of comments. It says in here in section 7 that the project's subject to approval of the trailway. So does that mean anything that the Village of Leonard does has to come before us to get approval to move it forward because the grant came in our name to give to you? For the letting of all contracts associated with the project, subject to the approval of the trailway. I mean, I'd be just as content to let you move ahead and do whatever you need to do with your money versus us having to approve your projects every step of the way.
That paragraph says the village shall be responsible for letting the contracts subject to the approval of the trailway and conditioned upon the use of designated donations. So yeah, we would inform you of the costs that were going to be incurred. Obviously subject to the amount being sufficient to be covered, by the grant.
So you just keep us informed of what you're doing.
Right.
Then the next question is, was this agreement filed with the Secretary of State in Oakland County?
Yes, it was.
So it's all
Yes,
set.
it has been.
And last thing is, how much more funds do you need to complete your project?
Well, we had hoped to leverage this money through grants and other funding sources, but we've applied to DTE and several other foundations, and they've not granted us. So rather than let the deterioration continue, we're going to fix the bad areas, which this money will hopefully cover. So we've got 2 bids right now. One of them for the complete job was over $35,000, but a repair in the areas that we've got varied from, depending on what we wanted them to do, anywhere from $5,000 to over $10,000. So it's not going to be hard to spend the money.
No,
It's just
I'm sure.
getting enough money.
What about for like the full restoration of it? Is that the full restoration was 35,000 or?
Just for the foundation.
Just for the foundation.
Yeah.
I got a question, I guess somewhere along the way, this has been discussed, and I don't remember. Once it's all restored, how does that mill, how's it associated with the trail? Will it be a rest area for people, or?
Right. It's going.
What's the vision for, let's say it's all done, what will it be for the trail?
It is planned to have a rest area. We've applied for grants twice for universal access, the all-season bathroom facility there as well. So that's the large picture. The small picture is we have to keep the mill structurally sound until we get that grant hopefully from the DNR.
But is there such a plan in place, what the vision is and all that? Like you say, restrooms.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen
The Oakland County, we submitted those plans, as I said, twice to the DNR trust fund, but it was at the same time that the former Governor Schneider started the Iron Bell concept, and so all the funding kind of left to work on trail development and not developments that it's trail related, but not direct enough, I guess. So we're going to keep on it with that as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have $10,000 in our account that was given, and is there more besides the 10?
The village has more,
But The Polly Ann Trail is not holding any more?
No.
We're holding $10,000
That's
in the
correct.
bank for this, okay?
That's correct.
And then once we pay this, we're no longer, we still have to approve,
Right.
but we don't have to
No, there's
forward,
no...
okay.
There's,
Mike, I got a follow-up comment, I guess it's not part of a question, but if this structure is such a landmark, so to speak, on the trail, have we ever thought about doing a fundraiser, utilizing the trail, with monies going to that?
yeah, we have a couple of times. They haven't been big fundraisers, but
Okay.
during the Strawberry Festival, we've had a presence and
Okay.
had brands and
Yeah.
items, things like that, so.
You know, the way the trail is now, it'd be kind of nice to have something like that as a destination.
Well, that's our plan. The village's plan is not to be it would be nice to be a trail town, but with the nature park and the trailhead, the Leonard Trailhead right there, it kind of puts a whole package together of facilities, the trail, and amenities that the public would hopefully find as a destination and not just drive right on by, so.
Right, yeah, that's, I guess, again, you gotta have some kind of vision.
Right.
That's, okay.
You got a very, very nice landmark there once it's completed.
Yes.
How much do you think to do it complete?
With the grant applications that we've made have been for $300,000, but that includes, construction of an entirely new facility attached to the mill, design, and it will look like the roof line would be the same as the original coal shed and everything that was on that side of the building, so.
That's exactly what you want, like fully restored over.
Right.
Okay. With that, I move to approve the transfer of the Cooper Standard Foundation Leonard Mill Grant for the total amount of $10,000 to the Village of Leonard, Michigan, for the purpose of restoration of the Leonard Mill.
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion by Chairman Wright, second by Councilor Sant, to approve the allocation of the $10,000 funds to the Village of Leonard. Roll call, please.
Bruce Pearson, absent. Eric Sant.
Yes.
Donnie Steele.
Yes.
Aaron Wadley.
Yes.
Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
I'll disclose that I am a representative of the village, but I'll vote yes.
Very good.
Joe Frost, absent. Carries.
Okay. Okay, next up is the reintroduction of the Polly Ann Trail interlocal agreement review. So we brought this back and looking to get comments back from your review so we can incorporate this and have a draft of proposed approval at our March meeting. So if there's any comments, I have some comments myself, but I don't know if you want to go over these or if you want just a revised addition put into the next month's packet to look at, or how you want to go about this. So we'll start with you, Donnie.
I do not have further additions, but this was all based on trying to get the grants, and we don't have the right verbiage based on what the DNR said, that they can't be named in the whatever, the interlocal. And then I read it today, and I was like, we want to go over and fix all of it? And I was like, so I didn't have the capacity to go and say, I'm going to fix any type of graphical errors or anything that I think that needs to be changed, but I will. So I am curious to see what other people came up with, and then it would allow me to look at that again with other people's comments and to see what I think of theirs.
Yeah, question, Donnie. Has the Paint Creek Trail received trust fund grants with the language in their agreement for this solution?
Did they just get one?
We just got one.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Yeah, we were referred to Paint Creek Trails verbiage by Mary Carlock and Kristen Wolfang. So she recommended that we check it out.
So what Linda and I did is in her report, we took the two documents, the Polly Ann Trail, and we took the Paint Creek Trail. We redlined it in the packet for what the changes were, then we put together a clean copy. So That's something that Linda and I need to get with Mary Carlock and who's the other?
Mary Carlock and Kristen Wilfang.
Kristen Wolfang from Walton County, okay.
Yeah, and-
That's where we need to go next with that section.
See, and that I thought read perfectly fine, but I didn't go line by line like you.
Yeah. So,
One of the things that never happened was in regards to the fiscal year, and even though the communities all approved it, apparently a prior agent of the trail, former trail manager, either didn't file them where we could find them or whatever. But I think if we include the language that the fiscal year is adjusted to the calendar year, which we have been observing, that language could be approved as part of this when all of the communities agree to it. And then also, I wanted to point out that in Section 5 under General Powers, the council has a right to, with the consent of the governing board of member units, to have some jurisdiction over those lands consistent with the member unit. In our case, with Orion Township, the acquisition of more trail, what we all refer to as trail property, I think a simple letter from, it's not a change, but a letter from Orion to the council would probably be a good idea so that we have that authorization to be working and spending money on the trail that is south of Indianwood, let's put it that way.
yeah, that's correct, because in the bylaws, it shows that the length of the trail starts at Indianwood Road and works north. It doesn't include anything from Heights/Joslyn south.
Right.
So we need to,
I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's in everybody's benefit to do it, so.
So what are you saying So you're saying that Orion read a letter that they're in agreement with the interlocal language for that portion of the trail to include the new red line, saying that whatever happens if it dissolves, that that's how they would agree to handle it?
As well, right.
Okay.
All the way up to,
plus to include that section of the Pollyant Trail within the interlocal agreement or / bylaws.
Both.
Because right now, you're basically indirectly not in the Pollyant Trail from Joslyn Road south. And we're maintaining the jurisdiction, Linda.
We want to. I mean, it's not like we're saying we don't want to. We want to, it's just for purposes of insurance and everything else, I think we really need to look at
And
that.
future counselors. Linda?
And we've been acting as if it is the Pollyant Trail, and years ago, when it was first conceived and dealt with, it always has been accepted as the Pollyant, and I know that money has been spent in that area, south of Indianwood, and it's just kind of, I think somewhere in the universe, there's paperwork that says that, but I think it's been gone away.
Plus your trail connector celebration.
Yeah, my Trail Connect.
The assumption is that
And I put a lot of time in Orion, and I'm keeping it.
we are not arguing that's not part of the Pollyant.
I know.
So, we spend money there too, but we say it's part of the Pollyant.
Yeah, well, and also, last year, I don't know how this will equate into it, I got a 5-year lease on the ITC for the Pollyant Trail, so it's under our control for the next 5 years. So,
And this is legal. I mean,
yeah,
that's-
it's all legal, it's just,
Would we
paperwork.
say it's even the section all the way to Joslyn Road? Because the way I guess, as I came into the township was from Walden Road north is the Pollyant. They own it, or the council owns it. But from Walden Road to where it veers into, or maybe Green Shield, where it veers into Joslyn Road is owned by Orion Township.
Is that the ITC, from
Yeah.
Walden to Orion?
Joslyn Road.
Oh, I'm sorry, Walden
It's
to
just
Joslyn.
a little tiny curve.
And I actually have a 5-year lease with ITC. No one had a lease on it, and I actually contacted our real estate management person with ITC, and I actually signed on behalf of the Pollyant Trail, so we have control over it for the next 5 years.
I thought it was the silliest thing ever. If it's a Pollyant Trail, it's a Pollyant Trail through and through.
So, and it's renewable every 5 years, so unless we screw up, they don't care. So, I don't plan on it.
Elgin, any comments?
Not really. I went through it and I thought the selections that were made were right on. I don't see any changes other than that.
Eric?
No, I'm in agreement.
Okay. Aaron, anything? Nope. Okay. A couple things I want to bring up. On the cover memo, I did find documentation that Village of Leonard and Oxford Township did approve the fiscal year change. I didn't find anything from Orion, Addison, or the Village of Oxford, so if you can come across those, that would help confirm the fiscal year change. So whether it's in your minutes or needs to be acted on.
My question is, if we change this new change and then we bring it back to the board with the new fiscal year.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Then I don't have to go looking
That's fine.
for it. God knows where that is.
On page, I guess let me ask council's pleasure. Do you want me to bring you back a red line copy with what my comments are, or do you want me to go through them now? Bring it back?
Yeah.
Gotta bring back, bring back, bring back, bring back? Okay. So this is what we'll do then.
Why bring them back? I mean, they wouldn't be.
Because you're gonna get a copy to approve next month.
Right.
Will there be other amendments?
There will be, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay,
In my
that's
opinion.
fine. I'm gonna
I
bring
mean,
it back.
I'll just run through real quick. In section 3A, council, it says council should be comprised of 2 persons from each member unit. Well, the villages don't have 2 members. They have a member plus an alternate. But then it goes on to say that the governing body, each member unit shall by resolution appoint its representatives. And then it goes on to talk about appointing also an alternate member. It's in section 5. Each member unit governing board may also appoint alternate council persons. So the way it reads to me is your councils would have to have 2 people on this Pollyant Trail. So,
You mean the township boards?
I mean, the member units, which is Village of Leonard, Village of Oxford, Addison, Orion, and Oxford Townships. Right here. Donna, go ahead.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Because I do want to see what you have. Maybe
Okay.
you can scan it to us, and then we could take a look
What
at
I'll
it.
do is I'll give you my notes, side notes, and you can take it for what it's worth. And in the meantime, when do you want to be part of a draft?
Of course.
Okay, well, good.
And then I would like to know which one you're working off of. Like, so,
This will be, this is revised 9/9 of 97.
okay,
That's the version I have. Mike, you know
that's what I have
on
too.
the bottom? Okay. Now, if there's something more that I don't have that somebody else does,
We
please.
create like a Google Doc where, I don't know if everyone's heard of it, but we'll send an email string out, and so it's that document that everyone can log into, and it's a real-time document that you can make a change, and it'll highlight it, and you can come in and you can see his highlight, you can make a change, and then that way we have everything compiled into one document to look at. I mean, if
Okay,
we want
so for me, following that, how do I know who makes what change?
It'll pop up.
It'll pop up?
Yeah.
Okay. I've not.
If that's too
I don't know if
complicated, then
anybody
I'll-
else has.
No, I think it's a great idea.
So,
Super
I need
easy.
education.
Super easy.
So who's gonna be responsible for that?
I'll do it. I'll put it together.
Perfect.
And then if you hate it, we'll never use it again. Okay? Or if you hate it after the first day, we can say, forget it.
What's that called?
Google Doc. I think if we love it, then Aaron should be in charge forever.
I just learned about it and I love
Oh,
it.
Google Doc is the easiest thing in the world. I've actually used
so
it.
I'm going to email this to Aaron,
Yeah.
and he'll take it from there.
I will. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Everybody
I'm
hear
going to
that?
punch you in the
Aaron is
jar,
charge
Donnie.
of that document. I guess likewise with the bylaws. We'll go ahead and email you the bylaws, Eric. No, Aaron, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can put it all in.
We'll do it because the bylaws tie into the agreement, and then we can have one document, and then we'll have something for the March meeting on those 2 agenda items.
What's the bylaws here? You have on that?
Bylaws would be,
I got the same here.
I don't see here on the bottom of this one. I don't see a date on this, to tell you the truth. What I do have, Donnie, is on page 2, in Article 3, Section 2, it says dated September 19, 1997 as amended. by the First Amendment to interlocal agreement dated blank, 1990-something. So that's the closest I can come to a date for you.
Oh, I got that one too. Mine at the bottom says, it does say 1997. Revised 97.
Is that filled in?
But, oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the same thing. I had a signed one.
And the one I have too does not have, the back says attachment A. I didn't see attachment A in the body of the document, nor was attachment A on mine.
I have a signed attachment A.
Do you? So you got the main one.
I win.
You win. So send that to Aaron. Send that to Aaron, and Aaron will document through Google, what is it, Google again?
It's called Google Docs.
Google Docs. Google Docs will be the document.
Just the council web access to.
Okay, everybody's clear on that?
Aaron, do you scan it, or do you have like a PDF and then you?
Do you have a PDF?
God, I don't even know where I got this from. Maybe.
Well, we can figure it out. We'll get it done.
Okay, last item on our agenda is the Clarkston Road parking lot Phase 1 request for funds. Lynn, I'm going to let you carry this one because you've done the legwork on this.
All right, in 2017, EWS, Joe Corrigan, gave us $3,980 and a lot of labor at the Clarkston parking lot. I have used $1,819 of that money, leaving a remaining balance of $2,161. I want to get it done this year. I want to get our sponsorship signs up. I want to get the parking lot done. I want to get the, either some fencing material, fencing items to keep people off the trail, something in that area. I just want to spend the rest of that money to meet my obligation to my donor. Just finish it up. I've been working the last 2 years pretty diligently, getting grass to grow over there and keeping the weeds down and getting picnic tables and cement pads and stuff in there. I just want to finish it up, keep it safe, get some flower planters out there, shush it up, spend the money, get our donor sign up, be done. Last year was kind of a big deal. For last year, we got the cement pad done, a lot of different things done out there. So I just want to get it done and move on. So I would like permission to spend the remaining $2,161 to get that parking lot done.
Then a couple items.
Yes.
Is that enough to complete the project?
Probably not.
How much more do we need?
Well, I'm going to see how far I can go with it.
So you'll come back at that time where you're at?
Let's spend what we have allotted, and then we'll kind of figure it out. I think I can make it work pretty darn close. I got some pretty creative ideas, and we'll figure it out. I have included that parking lot in our grant, our foundation grant request. With that also being said, I am working on a foundation grant, and the person who is helping us with the foundation grant, who does not want to be named, would like to be noted as a grant advisor on the paperwork, and I don't think there's a problem with listing him as a grant advisor, or...
Do we approve that?
Yeah, I would like an approval from the council to have him put that on, that we are able to put that on our paperwork as a grant advisor.
Do you need that today, or?
That would be great, if we could.
So you want us to add person X as an advisor to...
The grant request for the foundation.
For the foundation grant.
Yeah. Which is coming in around $2 million right now.
Usually, so how do we word this? You're looking for a specific person, but you want it anonymous.
Well,
At this time.
we really can't do that.
We can?
But
Okay.
I think
You have consensus that we're...
Mr. Obrecht's a well-known figure, and his advice would be welcomed by any organization,
Exactly.
including ours. So I think a motion to appoint Mr. Larry Obrecht as a
Grant advisor.
advisor to the Pollyant Trail Management Council would be recognize that capability.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll call it a motion, if you like.
Okay, motion by Councilor McDonald, second by Councilor Sunt to appoint Larry Obrecht as a trail advisor for the purpose of the foundation grant, Linda?
Yes.
Or grants?
Yeah. Just this foundation grant that we're
This
working on right now.
particular foundation
Yes,
grant.
Specifically.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, that motion carries.
Which kind of ties in with the Clarkston Trailhead, because I have part of that. I'm looking for funding for the remaining part that I'm going to need above and beyond the 2161 to finish up that parking lot from that grant.
But you'll bring that back at the time of need.
Yes.
And other question, Linda, is the parking lot borders the county road, is there any permits you need for work in the right of way?
As long as I stay out of the right-of-way, which my intent is to stay out of their right-of-way, it will all be done on land that is owned and operated by the Pollyant Trail Management Council. I have checked for building permits for any fences or anything that I would do on the west side of the parking lot. As long as they're under 6 feet tall, I don't need a building permit for those. So I've already checked with Orion Township on that. So we are set. Planters, the same thing. We're looking at getting maybe some creative planter ideas. Complete Automation has also volunteered to maintain and plant those said planters going forward, so they will be willing to help us out. The girls over there think it's a great idea.
Your expectation of completion?
This summer, yeah. Every year I've I've made huge gains every year, and I think this is going to be the year we get it all done, so I can move on.
Okay, is there a motion in order on this? Donna?
I move to authorize the amount of $2,161 for the purpose of improving the Clarkston Road parking lot as requested by Council Trail Manager Linda Moran. This $2,161 amount to be expensed to account number 298-853-922, maintenance of grounds.
Second.
Okay, motion by Councilor Steele, second by Councilor Sump to approve the $2,161 for the improvement of the Clarkston Road parking lot. Roll call, please.
Bruce Pearson, absent. Eric Sent.
Yes.
Okay, Donnie Steele.
Yes.
Aaron Wadley. Yes. Elgin Nichols, yes. Curtis Wright.
Yes.
Mike McDonald.
Yes.
Joe Frost, absent. Carries.
Okay, moving on, public comment. No public is present except the camera person. They have comments. No comments there. We'll move on to council member comments, starting with Donnie.
No, being that I missed my prayer, I did want to say one thing, that I pray that we get the grant funding to be able to preserve our trail for the future and the future generations. That is my comment, and I want to say what a nice job you did, Curtis, with this meeting and all this stuff. Not that you never did, but it's like, thank you.
I complimented him as
Yeah,
well.
thank you. So,
Pray for Curtis, he gets settled with me.
I think you guys are a good pair.
Oh, I don't know.
Mr. McDonald.
Ditto.
Okay.
I'm in total agreement. I'd like to just add also that Linda Moran is doing a terrific job.
Who?
Appreciate her.
Well,
Well, everybody be safe on the way home and keep up the good work. Each year, we look forward to improvements. It's crazy how much work you've done and the hard work you're doing, so good work.
Just wait, I got an idea. I said when I took this job, give me 5 years. No, I said, give me 5 years, you wouldn't recognize the place in 5 years.
Eric.
No comment. I enjoy being on here, being part of this activity. I think it's great.
Okay, good. Donnie, just to let you know, the council voted for you out here that we're going to remove the detail of the bills. We're just going to give a summary in the packet.
Okay.
So part of what we'll do is that if there is a question or something, maybe you as treasurer would have those detailed if somebody has a question on them. But what I would expect is if you do have a question, have it answered before the meeting time. That way we don't have to be bogged down with comments or whatever, so just to let you know that. And also, if there's things that in this package you like, you don't like, let me know so we can streamline it even more if necessary. So with that, a motion for adjournment is in order at 4:40. So I'll move to adjourn at 4:40. Need a second. Have a second. Motion by Chairman White, second by Councilor Steele to adjourn the meeting at 4:40. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, meeting is adjourned.